Right, we are going to have a look at the Wii U eShop. So you've probably seen my other video on the 3DS eShop. The eShop is closing down in March of 2023, so now's a good time to actually have a look at what's in there, what you should be getting, and I'm going to give you some recommendations. Yeah, the first thing you notice here, there's this kind of mini game where you have to stop and see if you can make, yeah, there you go, the right image. And you heard me say this before, the Wii U software is a lot more interesting. It's lot more, has a lot more personality. There's more features, more colors. Oh, this might be a bit loud. There you go. Yeah. Listen to the music. That's great. That's absolutely, I love that music. It's almost like the Wii eShop, the Wii Shop music, which is also a classic. Maybe no one bought the Wii U, so maybe no one remembers the music. But if you go to the Switch today, like this did, it's almost like browsing the App Store on your phone. There's nothing there. So let's go through a few things in here. Let's start with the charts. Let's see what's charting right now. And remember, this is a New Zealand / Australia / PAL Wii U. So these are the best sellers in your region. What is selling? Do you have a Wii U and you can check what's selling in your region? Just leave me a comment. So this is very interesting because the first one that shows up is The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. So this game is a Game Boy Advance game. So right now, the only way to play this game is by owning a Game Boy Advance or another a DS. You can play Game Boy Advance games on the DS as well. But what I mean is, you need a physical copy of this game if you want to play it. The other option is to own it on the Wii U eShop. But if you have a Switch, for example, you cannot play this there yet. There are no Game Boy Advance games on the 3DS. Not on the 3DS, sorry. There are no Game Boy Advance games on the Switch eShop. Let's keep going here. So this is chart by recent bestsellers and filtered by all. So let's check the top 10. Majora's Mask. Yeah, Nintendo 64, you can play this in it's the 3DS version, and I'm sure it's on the Switch eShop. Yeah. Twilight Princess, this is a Wii game. This is also available on the Wii U. That's the only way to play it now. It's like GameCube, Wii U. So if you have a Switch, you can play this today. Yeah, so Paper Mario, originally from the Nintendo 64, you can play this on the Nintendo Switch Online service. But if you want a copy and download it and keep it, you're probably safer just buying it here, because the Nintendo Switch Online is a service and it could go away. What else we have here? You have Super Mario Advance 4, which is actually a version of Super Mario 3, I think. Game Boy Advance, there are different ways you can play that. Mario 64, you can play that everywhere. DS, Switch, other places. Now, interesting, Metroid Zero Mission is a highly regarded Metroid game. You can play this on the Game Boy Advance, and you can also play it in here, but no, you cannot play it anywhere else. So this is a good grab if you don't want to try to find a physical copy, which might be quite expensive. Let's keep going through the top 10. Metroid Prime Hunters, this was a DS game. I actually forgot that there were DS games on the Wii U, which is because it has two screens. You have this screen and then you have a TV. It kind of emulates that dual screen experience with Nintendo DS. Next game on the list is Axiom Verge, which is basically a Metroidvania, originally released on the PS4, but it's also on the Wii U, but you can get it on other more modern consoles, including the Xbox and Nintendo Switch, so you don't need to buy it here. Last but not least, Pokemon Ranger. I don't know if you cannot get a copy of this physical, or you don't own a Nintendo DS, it could be a good chance for you to pick it up for cheap. But other than that, no, I think you can get this one physical in a DS, and it's not too expensive. I mean, it's going to be more expensive than the download, but yeah, you might still want to just give it a try for cheaper on the eShop. Let's go back up. What else? What Wii U down. Let's sort by this now. So yeah, next we have The Legend of Kai Anniversary. This game originally was a PlayStation 2 game, but then there was like, this is the anniversary remaster version that has been released on a whole bunch of other platforms, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, the Wii U, and also is now available on the Switch. So I don't know if it's worth it. Well, I guess in this case here it's on sale for $20, so maybe you want to get it for cheap. Wii U Party, it's one of those games that it uses a lot of the features of the Wii U. So from a collector's perspective, yes, this is one of those games which I would recommend you to pick, because it's unique to this. Another one, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, is my personal favorite Zelda of all time, and you can only play it, there's only a GameCube version or this. So if you don't have the GameCube version, one of the best Zelda ever made. The music is amazing. There's some quirks in some of the quests, but hey, it's one of the best Zeldas ever made, in my opinion. Pixel Maker Studio, I have no idea what this is, so I want to keep going. I'm not sure it's worth my time. Sorry, Pixel Maker Studio. Splatoon. Just looking at the price, 100 New Zealand dollars. That's ridiculous for a game this old. But yeah, Splatoon 1 only available on the Wii U. So if you want to get it, you can probably get it for cheaper second-hand physical. But you have Splatoon 2 and 3 on the Switch, so you can experience it there. So here's where things get a little bit more interesting. Here's Affordable Space Adventures. This game is a Wii U exclusive game. It hasn't been released anywhere else, and it has reviewed very well. So if you wanted to check a Wii U exclusive, no, this would be this is a good option. Then Space Intervention. This is a little bit of a shovelware game. It's very cheap, but also available on Steam. You can probably get it on Steam for like 50 cents or something like that. It's like a Space Invaders type game, and I think it's just here because of the price. And Sudoku Party, I don't even know why it's in the top 10, but hey, you know what Sudoku is about. Okay, let's go back. The news over there is glowing, so let's see what the news are. Oh yeah, my Nintendo just encouraging me to go to my Nintendo, that's fine. But then yeah, the news of the Wii U and 3DS eShop closing, so late March. Yeah, you can purchase games until late March, so remember that. Okay, let's keep going through some of these, what's in the new releases. Yeah, so I actually had to look for this. So this game Shadow Archer Special is made by this company called Ultra Dolphin Rev. Is it Ultra Dolphin Rev or Ultra Dolphin Revolution? Yeah, Ultra Dolphin Revolution. So there's a few of these over here, and these are some Wii U exclusive, I guess, games that were made by this company. And you can see there's a few of them. There's like Shadow Archer Special, Captain U, Seasonal Assistant, Space Hunted the Lost Levels. Where's also another one, Sinister Assistant, and yeah, Shadow Archery and Spellcaster Assistant. So I also this is a cue for me to put I'll do some screen grabs of the website, because it's you have to see it. It's kind of crazy. Do you know about this company? I just caught me off guard, and it's bizarre. It's bizarre they have so many games on the Wii U, and it looks like not anywhere else. So if you want to collect them all, this is the only place to get them. So these are some of the latest games released on the Wii U. So here's another one interesting. This Commander Keen. You know, this is a very old school game from the early 90s. That was available only on MS-DOS PCs, and this is like a remake with some enhancements made specifically for the Wii U. But the interesting story is that this is also available on the Switch. I didn't know that. So those are some of the highlights or something in the new releases section. So let's have a look what else, what's on sale. Again, this is a New Zealand sale. Legend of Kai, we went through that. So here's an interesting one. The Book of Unwritten Tales is one of the most expensive Wii U games physical. So you could pay almost like $300 for that, or if you really wanted to give it a try, you can pay 10 or less. Also, it's available on a whole bunch of other platforms like PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch, so you can probably find it in any other platform. But it's one of those things, if you really want the Wii U version of this and you want the physical, you will have to pay big bucks. What else is in here? Nothing to recommend. Oh yeah, so Steam World Heist and Steam World Dig, great games. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I'm a fan of the Steam World universe. Heist is a 2D turn-based tactic shooter, so similar to the Lost Vikings. If you've seen my 3DS video, I talk about that in there, and it's highly recommended. But it's also available everywhere. So no, you can get it here, but no, you can get it everywhere else. Same thing with Steam World Dig. It's like Metroidvania-y side-scroller, super good. There's a sequel to it as well, but again, if you just have some spare credit and you want to get it on the Wii U, this is a good pick. So we've seen what was on sale, so let's keep going through what else is here on the eShop. So interesting reminder that even though it was a Switch seller, the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was also available on the Wii U, and the expansion pass is also available here. Some other interesting games here. Splatoon, we talked about Splatoon, you can play it on the Switch. Minecraft, I feel that no matter in which console it comes out, it always sells out. So there is a Minecraft for Wii U, of course. Mario Party 10, I'm not into the Mario parties, so I don't know if this is the good one or the bad one or what, but the ones on the Switch that have some new ones, some new games, and some remakes of all their boards and all their games, those are very, very good and lots of fun. All of this Like I said, this is probably one of the ones to pick. Wind Waker, we're still waiting for a port to the Switch, so that's it. That's something to go for. You can play this on this 3DS version. If you're into Yoshi and platformers, that's probably a good pick for you. Now this is where it gets more interesting. I'm not going to go through the NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 because those games have been re-released like a million of times, and they are available, most of them, on the Nintendo Switch Online service. Now, a couple of things that are very interesting here, and I already mentioned this, Game Boy Advance. So let's have a look what games are on the Game Boy Advance category. So yeah, there's some really Game Boy Advance games are going up in price, like something like Golden Sun. I never played it. I want to play it as a highly regarded RPG. You can pay, you can download it for, let's say, $10, or you can pay some ridiculous amount for a physical copy. So this is where now having a Wii U is probably a good option for you if you want to try some of these games for cheap. Mystery Dungeon. Some people love these games. I never played. Well, actually, I have tried a few of them and never really got into them. Final Tactics Advance, super good game. Again, if you search for this physical, it's probably going to cost you quite a bit of money. So being able to maybe just give it a try on the Wii U is a good option. Fire Emblem, you know what happens to Fire Emblem games. They skyrocket in price because Nintendo doesn't re-release them. You can grab it for cheap. Metro Fusion, we already talked about this. This is interesting. Now, this is one of the most expensive Game Boy Advance games. Also one of my personal favorite games. Because the cartridge comes with a rumble pack built in, so you can play. You play this character that drills through the levels. That's its skill, and as it has different levels of intensity, the cartridge actually rumbles more and more, and it's a very unique experience, which means it's pretty expensive to get physical. This game is an amazing platformer, so if you are into something that is different. This is made by Game Freak, if I'm not mistaken, like the company that made Pokemon. So you can see you're this little character over there, and you have different bosses, and you interact with the drill in different ways. You have different abilities. It's super good. I cannot speak highly of this game. You should give it a try. For $10 or less, probably a good option. More Fire Emblem, again, they're also very good. This game also, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, again, it has some rumble built in, and it's one of the most expensive Game Boy Advance games you will ever find. So it's a mix of Pokemon as a reimagined as a pinball game. So you throw Pokeballs, and it has everything you can think of. Oh, there's a look at that. That's the trailer for that. Alright, so let's keep going through the Game Boy Advance games for some recommendations. Wario, super good platformer. Klonoa, another good platformer. F-Zero, the remake of the Super Nintendo version. All of these are so good. It's crazy. It's a bargain, and you can buy them, download them, and keep them. Especially at the prices of these Game Boy Advance games all are going up in price. F-Zero, WarioWare, Advance Wars, especially as the Switch version has been postponed indefinitely. Just try the original, it's an excellent game. What else are we having here? The sequel to Advance Wars. There's a whole bunch of Mega Man ones. Castlevania. Which one is this one? Which Castlevania? Yeah, so it's the Game Boy Advance one, but it has a name. I cannot remember. When I edit this video, I'll add the. Is it Circle of the Moon? I cannot remember. I'll add it when I am editing this video. Super good. And Mr. Driller. So Mr. Driller is another one of my favorite games of all time. It's hard to explain, so here's the trailer I'm going to show to you. What else we're having here? There's a whole bunch of Mega Man games, which they're now going to be re-released on the Switch as a pack. So I would say you don't have to collect all of this. Here the other Game Boy Advance Castlevania, they are all excellent. For this price, it's also a bargain. What else we have here to recommend? Also something over here went down too quick. Yeah, Poké Rocky with Becky again. This version of Poké Rocky that has been remade recently for the Nintendo Switch. The one with Becky is just a remade version for the Game Boy Advance. Also trivia, this game is one of the most expensive cartridges for the Game Boy Advance. You could be paying somewhere between $300 to maybe $900 for this game, which is kind of ridiculous. It's a good game, but not worth that. So again, you have an option to play it on the Wii U for cheaper. So back here, I had to stop filming because this or my phone overheated. I've been filming for too long, and yeah, it overheated. So the one thing about the TurboGrafx, it is known for its shooters. So Twin Bees, Soldier Blade, Final Soldier, Air Sonic, they are probably going to be good picks. And yeah, more shooters. And it's their Bomberman. This is one of the best versions of Bomberman out there. And I'm it's cursed. This video is cursed. Now I'm running out of battery here. So my last recommendation here is probably New Adventure Island, version of similar to Wonder Boy, side scroller. Yeah, released on the TurboGrafx and some other consoles as well, so this could be a good pick if you're into those kind of games. And I'm going to stop now, charge my Wii U pad, which is annoying. The Wii U pad doesn't have good life battery, and we'll be back with more recommendations. So let's keep going through the Virtual Console on the Wii U. Like I said earlier, I actually forgot that you have some DS games. The situation with DS games is not too bad at the moment, but if you wanted to try some DS games, no, this makes it very affordable. Like Spirit Tracks might not be my favorite Zelda game, but it's an interesting experiment. Again, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon might not be the best one, but again, if you want to try, if you were really hungry for more Fire Emblem content, this is a good one to try. What else? Is there anything? Phantom Hourglass is actually pretty good, so I would recommend that. Animal Crossing U, the best Animal Crossing is currently out for the Nintendo Switch, so you don't need to try this one. What else are we having here? Yeah, maybe it makes me think that you have some interesting franchises from Nintendo here, but these were not some of the best games in their in those franchises. Let's go back to the top. Last but not least, we have the Wii. Wii is an interesting situation here. Not quite super expensive yet, so if you wanted to get some of these games on the Wii, that's a good way to do it. But yeah, the Wii U, everything has motion control, so some of these games are a little bit annoying to play because Nintendo was putting motion controls on everything. In saying that, Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2, two of the best Mario games ever made. Now you can get them here on the Wii U, on the Wii U for a reasonable price. Sin and Punishment sequel to a Nintendo 64 game, really good as well. So it's like a 3D on rails shooter. What else are we having here? Skyward Sword has just been released on the Switch. Second Wiki, this is again another interesting game that exists only on the Wii. What else is here worth mentioning? I think the one other one I would recommend is also Rhythm Paradise. I love this series. It has a weird relationship with the West, as not all the versions of this game have been released. It's like a rhythm game, mini games. Not a fan of this Metroid game, you can skip that. Here's something interesting. Xenoblade, one of the best games on the Wii, is available on the Switch as well. So I just suggest that you buy that version instead. Pandora's Tower, this game is a Wii exclusive, so the only way to play it will be to have the original game or this, and this is one of those games that are reasonably they're pretty expensive, so if you want to experience Pandora's Tower, this is a good option because it's cheaper than the physical copy. It's probably 2 or 3 times the price. Let's go back to the front. Oh, yeah, what else do we have here? Nindy is similar to the 3DS, and some special deals for some games. Let's have a look in here. Oh, error. Okay. I was not expecting that. Let's reload and I'll do some research on this. So Raid is saying that this is an error because there's no actual content behind this one, or I'm not going to touch it, but the same behavior happens when I click on the Zelda icon. So yeah, this starting to show that some of these services are going away, and that's probably it. It's interesting that it's still promoting some 3DS content. These 2 games are 3DS games, not Wii U, and it's also promoting some of their mobile games. Mario Run and Fire Emblem Heroes are very good if you're into those kind of games. Platformer and strategy RPG with some gacha elements. So that was that's solid tour of the Wii U. It's a good idea to check it out. The way to load content right now at the end of 2022 is to use it through your My Nintendo account. And no, I still have some credit over there, so I might grab some of these games that are not available anywhere else. Before, you cannot do that anymore, because in March next year that goes away. Well, I hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel, leave me some comments, what are you going to get, and like I always say, keep on collecting.